Every day I go home, I see him. I see him laying on the floor. I get up and I see him laying on the floor every day. It's just day in and day out. He's just there. My son Jonathan Layton was shot and killed.
Jonathan Layton was born and grew up in Smith County. He was the third of Nancy and Freddie Layton's 5 children. The Layton family worked hard, went to church, paid their taxes, and caused no trouble. Freddie Sr., Jonathan's father, worked at Hideaway Lake Golf Club maintaining golf carts. When he was not working at Hideaway Lake, Freddie Sr. ran a lawn care business in the Layton's hometown, Lindale. Nancy, Jonathan's mom, worked over 20 years at Walmart. The Layton kids all worked. The Laytons attended First Baptist Church in Swan, Texas. Jonathan was kind and a good friend and a good neighbor.
I have known John for many years. When I first moved to Hideaway, his sister became a good close friend, and then he began to do my yard, and he did my gutters and all the little jobs that I couldn't do. And
I knew Jonathan, his dad, and he used to come. They did my yard for me, which is a big job. They were always real friendly, and they took good care of me. After his dad got sick, Jonathan came on his own. He was always very respectful, bashful young man, really quiet, not outgoing, and he was just special. I looked forward to him coming to my house.
He was the most caring, humble person I ever met in my life. He later became my brother-in-law when I married his sister Crystal in 2018, and probably the most dependable person I ever called on. He's an all-around good guy. He's one of the most humble, caring person I've ever met in my entire life.
Jonathan took care of our yard at the church for almost 3 years, I believe. Very courteous, always respectful to me, always did a great job. And we never had any problem at all with him, and just wanted to let you know that he was very courteous to me and respectful to do the job. Always did a real good job.
I knew Cowboy my entire life, and his brothers and his parents, and to know him was to love him for sure. And he was one of the most kind-hearted and greatest people that I'd ever known in my life.
he was a kind and gentle giant. We just look forward to his good spirits and his kindness. And he had a real love of family. And I just want someone to know what a special young man I thought he was.
He was one of those people that whenever you see him, you would just see him in town and he would just smile and wave, and it was just, it's super sad to not have him around and see him randomly and talk to him and have little small chats, but he definitely will be missed, and super sad that he's gone.
I am Jonathan Layton's nephew. And I just wanted to say a couple things about my uncle. Excuse me. How good of an uncle that he was to me. He taught me multiple things in life about running, how to do certain things in life, knowing how to work, know how to love people. And the one thing about my uncle was he loved with all of his heart and everything. He loved his family. He loved me and my sister. And he would do anything for us.
Jonathan never had a fight in his life, but he was brave. Public records indicate that he helped a child being abused escape. Jonathan called the police and waited until the police arrived. This is not a story about a criminal meeting his just end. This is a story about a man who believed in justice, trusted law enforcement, right up to the moment he was shot in the back by a Smith County deputy sheriff. Three years ago, Jonathan started training as a plumber's apprentice at Faith Co. He made friends, found community in a new church. Faith Co was Jonathan's path to a stable career, and the money helped his recently widowed mother pay the bills. While working at Faith Co, Jonathan developed a painful double hernia. As a result, Jonathan required major double hernia repair surgery on September 27, 2024. After Jonathan was released to light duty, Faith Co refused to let him work and did not pay him. Faith Co did not report Jonathan's injury to its workers' compensation carrier or report it as a recordable incident. Jonathan was never explained his rights under the Family Medical Leave Act or the Texas Labor Code. Jonathan wanted to return to work full-time. Faith Co understood Jonathan was an injured employee whose continued employment carried the potential for a workers' compensation claim. Faith Co decided to fire Jonathan. To justify Jonathan's termination, Faith Co turned a consensual adult relationship between Jonathan and a coworker into Jonathan harassing the coworker. On November 5th, Faith Co called Jonathan into work. Jonathan had earlier texted a friend that he would meet him after work. It does not appear Jonathan knew what waited for him at Faith Co. Faith Co fired Jonathan. Faith Co did not fire the other employee who sent Jonathan photos and messages. Jonathan did not understand why he was fired and the other employee was not. A disagreement arose about whether Jonathan or Faith Co owned some pipe fittings. Faith Co's surveillance video caught the conversations.
I'll take care of it. Come on, I'll take care of myself. I got something to take care of this now. Don't do that. Take care of myself.
After the dispute over the pipe fittings occurred, Jonathan said, "I will take care of it. Then, I'll take care of it myself. Then, I've got something that can take care of this at the house. And finally, this is bullshit. I will take care of it myself." Jonathan was not shouting. He was not shaking. He calmly walked to his pickup. He accepted his coworker's help. No one asked Jonathan what he was going to take care of. No one asked Jonathan what at home could take care of whatever it might be. The circumstances and a later text are consistent with Jonathan referring to the disputed pipe fittings, and the thing at home that could resolve it was proof Jonathan paid for them. One gave a thumbs up. Jonathan left Faith Co, but understood he was expected to go back to return his uniforms. Taylor Tracy, who was not shown in the surveillance video, called 911.
Good morning, 911. What is the emergency? Yes, ma'am. I have a threat to my company and its personnel by a disgruntled employee that I just fired, saying that he was going to potentially kill us all. It's Safeco at 18601 U.S. Highway 69 North.
Okay, and what is your last name?
Tracy, Tracy.
Your first name?
Taylor,
And a phone number for you.
903-840-8224.
Okay, and how did he threaten you? Was he on location?
Yes.
Okay, is he still there?
No.
And what was his name?
Jonathan Layton. He said that he was going to his house to get something to take care of all of us.
And what does he drive?
A white Chevy Silverado. He lives off of 2710.
Okay, I'll get officers on the way, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Faithco's 911 call resulted in dispatching a deputy to respond. The deputy who took the call was Braylon Barnes. Deputy Barnes's exchange with a Faithco employee almost foretells the result.
How you doing?
All right, sir. I hate to bother y'all.
All right.
We had to let the guy go.
Okay.
And for sending obscene photos and pictures to two of the employees. And we found out and had to terminate him.
Okay.
I have no choice. And we told him, and then I took him inside to get his stuff. And he got mad and said that some of my fittings are gone. I said, no, those are parts that need to stay here. And he goes, well, I got something at home that I can take care of all of y'all. He said it twice. And he's shaking real bad, and Jonathan is a little off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to call some, you know.
Okay. What's his name?
Jonathan, what's Jonathan's last name? Jonathan, this is his address here, Linda. Let me go get his name. What's his last name? Jonathan Layton.
Okay.
Layton.
How you doing? Hey, man.
But
when did all this happen?
just about 15 minutes ago. You're fast. You're fast. He's the guy that has that white Chevrolet that's loaded down with junk.
Oh, I passed him on the way up here.
Yeah, that's it.
He's wearing a red shirt?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't look too upset, but I'm sure he saw that
yeah, you changed his mind.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll go and I'll keep an eye out. I mean, I was going up here to run traffic anyway, so I'll just see if I can go find him.
I appreciate
I
it.
thought about pulling that truck over because it looked good. Now I should have just stopped it, man. Yeah.
Always use that.
Yes, sir, man.
Go with your instinct.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all see him up here, just call us. But we'll look for him.
All right.
50. I'll be checking the area for this subject. I passed him on the way in here. He's driving a white Chevrolet truck, 2000s model with a bunch of junk in the back.
Deputy Barnes was now faced with a completely different situation than what was described on the 911 call. He was told, Jonathan said, that he had something at home that would take care of y'all. Jonathan did not say that. He said he had something at home that would take care of it, not y'all. Even the falsely reported conversation did not include a specific threat to kill anyone, as reported in the 911 call. Deputy Barnes himself stated that when he saw Jonathan driving, he did not appear upset. Deputy Barnes did not investigate the conflicting versions of what was said. He took no notes and made no report. Deputy Barnes did not ask what was contained in the text message Faithco claimed required Jonathan's firing. He does not ask to view the surveillance video or ask if the threat was recorded. There was no investigation to determine if a reason existed to go to Jonathan Layton's home. No crime had been reported. Deputy Barnes stated when he recalled seeing Jonathan in his truck, "I thought about pulling that truck over because it looked good. Driving a pickup with junk in the back is not a crime or probable cause to make a traffic stop." As he drives from Faithco to Jonathan's home, Deputy Barnes refers to Jonathan.
This motherfucker. Man, something told me to stop that damn truck.
Deputy Barnes does not inform any other responding officers what he learned at Faithco. Without a reported crime, instead of letting a civil matter over pipe fittings cool off or de-escalate the situation, Deputy Barnes and another deputy headed to Jonathan's home with no plan on what they were going to do when they arrived. What happens next speaks for itself. As Jonathan sits in his recliner texting an apology to Faithco's HR Director Helen, the deputies Faithco sent arrive.
Sheriff's office. Hello.
Hello.
Looking for Mr. Layton.
Which one?
One that drives that truck right there. That one. What you doing, man?
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! 42 shots fired, suspect is down, shots fired.
No one inside the Layton home knew deputy sheriffs were at the door.
Sheriff's office.
The dogs barking, 2 televisions on, a box fan and kitchen noise all prevented the Laytons from hearing what came after the knock. Audiologist Duran Bagalt conducted detailed audiology testing to determine if Deputy Barnes' announcement could have been heard inside. Not knowing who was at the door, Freddie Jr. walked from the bathroom to answer the knock. Jonathan, in a corner of the living room watching videos, also got up and moved towards the front door a few seconds after Freddie Jr.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! 42 shots fired, suspect is down.
Jonathan, who was right-handed, opened the closed door with his right hand, the pistol in his left. As he stepped outside, he is looking at Deputy Barron as he transfers the pistol from his left to his right hand. Jonathan's finger is outside the trigger guard, extended down the barrel. His thumb never grips the pistol to fire. At no time does Jonathan's finger move into the trigger guard. His thumb never moves to the grip. When Jonathan sees the deputies, one now pointing a gun at his chest and demanding he drop his gun, Jonathan slowly turns to go inside and put the gun away. When he was shot 3 times, Jonathan's pistol was on the opposite side of his body from the deputies. Jonathan's face was turned away, and his left hand was extended to the doorknob to allow him to open the door further and go inside. Deputy Barnes shoots Jonathan through his left arm and into his chest. 3 more shots rang out from Deputy Barnes, hitting Jonathan 2 more times, the final shot in his back. The bullets missed Freddie Jr. and Nancy by inches. Shots ricocheted off the door, wall, and ceiling. Deputy Barnes, in less than 2.7 seconds from the warning from Deputy Barron, fired 4 rounds and ran away. At the same time, Deputy Barron calmly refrained from firing. As Deputy Barron stated later, when Deputy Barnes shot Jonathan Layton, Jonathan was going inside. Jonathan knew he had not threatened anyone. As he lay on the floor, dying in agony, He wanted to know.
What's over here?
Apparently you made comments to your boss about coming back with something, with a weapon.
What?
You just got fired, and you made comments threatening your job.
About what? All about what?
Jonathan told the deputies he was complying with their request.
I didn't know. I put it down.
Deputy Braylon Barnes, the man who shot Jonathan, was no stranger to misconduct. He had failed multiple training programs, lied on applications, and been disciplined by every department that hired him. Before ever joining Smith County, he had flunked out of the Fort Worth Police Cadet Program and been effectively terminated from the Tyler Police Department. At Tyler PD, Barnes had a reputation for making illegal traffic stops, erasing body cam footage, and verbally abusing citizens. He was even caught on tape joking about violating policy. He used racial slurs. He used force unnecessarily. And still, Smith County hired him. They knew. They had his Tyler PD personal file, and they looked the other way. After being hired by Smith County, Deputy Barnes assaulted a local attorney in the courthouse. Deputy Barnes tried to start a romantic relationship with a woman he'd arrested for aggravated assault. He falsified reports. He received complaint after complaint. And yet, Smith County never removed him, never retrained him, never stopped him. On November 5th, 2024, they sent him to Jonathan Layton's door. His reckless handling of a firearm, his profanity-laced profiling, his habit of unconstitutional stops, his missing body cam footage. What happened to Jonathan Layton was not an accident. It was a pattern, and it was approved by Sheriff Smith. The bullets that hit Jonathan were not the only rounds fired. One round ricocheted and nearly struck his brother Freddie in the head. The Layton family came inches from losing two brothers. Smith County's deliberate indifference put a man with a violent, unethical history on the streets. And it cost Jonathan Layton his life. Sheriff Larry Smith gave a press conference at the scene after Jonathan's murder. Compare what Larry Smith said in his press conference to what actually happened in the body camera video.
What can you tell us about today?
Okay, about 12:46 p.m. today, deputies from the Smith County Sheriff's Office were dispatched to our location we're at here now regarding a business from Lindale that called in and said that a former employee that had just been terminated was supposedly going to his residence to get a firearm and come back and do them harm. Deputies responded rather quickly. One deputy remembered seeing the vehicle fitting that person's description as he was approaching the business. He turned around and goes to the location we're at here and saw the vehicle here as well. He and another deputy entered the residence, at which time they saw the person they was looking for, who turned around in the hallway with a firearm. At that time, deputies responded in kind and fired several shots, and the subject went down. Ambulance was called and obviously called for further assistance. The person who shot is Jonathan Layton. He was born in 1984. He's from this address here in the 13,200 block of County Road 4109 near Lindale, but it's out in the unincorporated part of the county. He is deceased upon arrival at the Christus Trinity Mother Francis. Then they went in knowing he was in there getting a firearm very cautiously, but he was met in the hallway, and as he was turning in the hallway with the pistol in his hand is when he got shot.
Did he get a shot off?
No. Deputy first responded to his place of employment where he was terminated from to talk to the owner there. That's when the guy had just left there and said, I have something to take care of this situation. they took it to mean he's coming to get a firearm at his residence. The deputies respond then to the residence. When they go in, make entry into the residence, he turns around in the hallway with a pistol, and they don't wait for him to turn all the way around. It's obvious what he was trying to do.
I understand. Was there anyone else in the home at the time?
The mother and I believe a brother are there now. Whether or not they were there at the time or not, I believe they were, but I'm not positive.
Now, will the names of the deputies be released, or will that be withheld this time?
Not today.
What is the status of their employment at this time?
They're fully employed. Will remain employed. They did it by the book. Did what had to be done, not what anybody wants to do, obviously. But when they needed to do it, they practiced what they were trained to do, and they probably saved some lives by doing so.
News reports echoed Sheriff Larry Smith's false statements that a man who was fired from his job was fatally shot after turning his gun on deputies.
Authorities are investigating a deputy-involved shooting in Smith County. KLTV7's Trent Bennett has been following this story throughout the afternoon. He joins us tonight with the very latest. Trent, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Blake, well, we're on County Road 4109. It's about 2 or 3 miles, give or take, to North Main Street, the downtown area of Lindale. We're at the edge of the road. It's completely blocked off. It has gotten dark, so bear with us, but I'm going to have our photographer, Arthur, zoom in. You can see the patrol vehicles who are still on the scene. We've got a crime scene investigative unit. Their van is out here. We have a few patrol vehicles with the sheriff's office, as well as 2 Texas Rangers who are leading this investigation. Right now, that's what they've been doing, going in and out of the home. The home is taped off, which you can't see, but let's go ahead and show you who we're talking about, the person that was involved in this deputy shooting. 40-year-old Jonathan Layton. We're told by the sheriff's office that he had been let go from his job and that he threatened to go home, get a gun, and then, quote, come back up there and kill everybody. The sheriff says deputies tailed him back to this home where we're reporting to you from tonight. They tried to speak with him in the front yard, and that's when Layton allegedly held a weapon, pointed in their direction, and shots were fired, and he was killed as he was being taken to Christus in Lindale. Now, I spoke to his mother, Nancy, his brother, Freddie. They say that this shooting did not happen in the front yard. Instead said that they were all 3 in the house. The deputy started knocking, and then they heard gunshots. This is what they said. Take a listen.
The last thing that's going through my mother and my mind at the moment is when my brother, when they finally tried to roll him over to start rendering first aid to him before the ambulance, was 8 minutes out to the scene. So that tells you there, 8 minutes for an ambulance for a gunshot victim. But he was holding out his hand, wanting my mother to hold his hand. And the deputy told her to get back, you can't do it.
So I'm sure they went in knowing he was in there getting a firearm very cautiously, but he was met in the hallway, and as he was turning in the hallway with the pistol in his hand is when he got shot.
Did he get a shot off?
No.
Yeah, and as you heard Sheriff Larry Smith there moments ago saying that Layton did not fire off a shot, however, did point the gun toward those deputies. The family tells me that they don't understand why the shots were fired. They felt like this could have been handled in a much different situation. Of course, this investigation is open and active. I was told moments ago that this scene should be getting cleared here moments later. We'll continue to monitor it, and we'll have the latest for you, and we'll have a live report. We'll have a report for you later on at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm reporting live in Lindale off of County Road 4109. Trent Bennett, KLTV.
Jonathan Layton had a constitutional right to bear arms in his home. He answered the door to his home to find deputy sheriffs and did not understand why they were there. He was confounded, not threatening. When told to drop the gun he was legally bearing in his home, he chose to go back inside and put it down. He was shot dead. Larry Smith reported to the world that Jonathan Layton threatened to kill his co-workers and 2 deputies. Those statements were false. Jonathan was described as a monster, a mad dog to be put down. Jonathan's co-workers at Faith Co. knew the truth. One sent Jeremy Layton a text.
I just saw the news article and I'm so FKN angry they made him sound like a monster, and Jonathan wouldn't hurt a fly. He was always saying crazy things, but he doesn't really mean it. He just talks crazy when he's upset. The news quoted him saying he was going home to get a gun and come back and kill everyone. But Helen told me that what he said was that he had something at home that would take care of all of this. I don't understand why they are making this out to be like that, and I don't understand why the officers shot him. I'm so angry, and my heart is hurting so bad for your family. I saw what your brother said on the news about the deputies not letting your mom hold his hand, and I just feel so much anger.
The Layton family's years of service to their community as firefighters, EMTs, prison guards, and business owners were all forgotten by the social media mob. They were now the family that raised a monster who tried to murder coworkers and law enforcement.
What devastated us, because our whole family's we've never been the family to cause problems or do any wrong or just receive so much slander or hatred that we received after all this. Our family's always been willing to help out and do for others, or like John, he wouldn't ask for anything, he would just do it. My dad was the same way, I'm the same way. Like our whole family, we just always, the whole time we lived in this county, have been nothing but good citizens, always trying to help people out, do the right thing. And then for one instance like this to come into play and everybody not know the facts and just slander our whole family the way that they have, it's just absolutely unreal.
The Layton family lost a son, a brother, a provider, and a protector. They have been denied peace and mourning. Jonathan was a kind man, a hard-working man, whose Facebook page talked about being a comfort to others. Nancy lives with every knock on her door bringing panic. Freddie cannot forget the image of his brother reaching out for his mother.
He was right here in this pile of blood that the deputies were so nonchalant on trying to render first aid, not trying to help him. Just seeing that that's where he bled out, that he probably took his last breath. Just.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! No, get back! Get back! Get my Mom!
When we was finally allowed back into the house, I went in and got the mop bucket, filled it up with hot water, poured bleach in it, and started cleaning up my brother's blood, thinking that was the last time that my brother had a breath. But I did it so my mother wouldn't have to do it. 71-year-old woman never should have to see that or have to clean her own son's blood up.
And then I didn't realize she had took a picture of, the aftermath. Imagine it's tough, especially going in the front door, seeing the ricochet mark from the bullet, and then all the stuff inside the house, and the ultimate spot where it kind of happened.
Trying to not get upset about it because we were so close. When our dad died, that was my best friend. So it's been hard. It's been really hard.
The killing of Jonathan Layton cries out for justice. The rule of law requires justice. The practices, policies of the Smith County Sheriff must change.
What is the status of their employment at this time?
They're fully employed. Will remain employed. They did it by the book. Did what had to be done, not what anybody wants to do, obviously. But when they needed to do it, they practiced what they were trained.